In this video, we're going to have a look at how to determine the equation of a given parabola. To determine the equation of a parabola, we need to get the constant value for A and for C. And to determine these two values, we first need to have a look at what is given in the sketch. Sometimes the value of the y-intercept is given, and then we can immediately substitute it into the place of C. Other times, rather than indicating the y-intercept, the two x-intercepts might be given, and then we will be making use of a different form of this equation. This form is derived from the fact that the original equation has to be factorized to determine the x-intercepts. Let's go and have a look at examples where each of these equations are used. Determine the equation of the parabola in the form y is equal to ax squared plus c. In the first example, you will see that the y-intercept of minus 25 is given, along with an extra coordinate of 6, 11. Because we already have the y-intercept, we can substitute the c value in the equation with minus 25. Now we still need to determine the value of a, and for that we're going to make use of the extra coordinate that was given. Here we have an x and a y that we can substitute into the equation. I'm going to substitute the y value with 11 and the x value with 6. Next, I'm going to square the 6 to get 36 multiplied by a, and I'm going to add the 25 on the left-hand side, which means I will have 36 on the left-hand side. And if I now divide both sides by 36, I will get an a value of 1. This means that the equation of this parabola is y is equal to 1x squared minus 25. In example 2, we are once again given the y-intercept or c value. This time, we have a concave down function, and you should be able to tell yourself that the final a value should be negative. We are once again also given an extra coordinate that we can substitute into x and y's place. This time, in y's place, I'm going to substitute minus 8, and in x's place 2. So now on the right-hand side, we have 4a, and when I go and add the 4 on the left-hand side, I end with minus 4. And once I've divided both sides by 4, I will have a is equal to minus 1. Here our final equation is y is equal to minus 1x squared minus 4. In our first two examples, the value of the y-intercept was given in the sketch. Next, we're going to have a look at an example where the x-intercepts are given. In example 3, the y-intercept is not given, but both the x-intercepts are indicated, and we are once again given an extra coordinate. As I've already mentioned earlier, when you are given the values of the x-intercepts, you're going to make use of a new equation where you can substitute these x values so that you can determine the a and the c values. In this equation, x1 and x2 represent the x-intercepts of the parabola. So my first step would be to substitute these two x values into x1 and x2. Take note that there's already a minus in the equation. Therefore, the first bracket becomes x plus 4, and my second bracket is x minus 4. In the equation at the moment, we now have three variables. We have the x, the y, and a, which we want to solve. We were also given a third coordinate, which consists of an x and a y value, and we can now go and substitute this to be able to solve a. In the place of y, I'm going to substitute 36, and in the place of both x's, I will substitute 2. Now we can go and simplify. So on the right-hand side, in the first bracket, I have 6, and in the second bracket, minus 2, which means we actually have 36 is equal to minus 12a. Once you've divided both sides by minus 12, you will see that a is equal to minus 3. Now we have a and we still need to determine the y-intercept or c value. For this, we can go back to the equation where we have y, a, and x as variables, and this time I'm going to substitute the a value with -3. So here we have that y is equal to -3 times x plus 4 times x minus 4. Now all we need to do is simplify the right-hand side. So when multiplying those two brackets, I can only multiply firsts and lasts to get x squared minus 16. If I now multiply in the 3, we will end with minus 3x squared plus 48. This means that the y-intercept is at plus 48, and the final equation is then y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 48. From these examples, you can see that it's important to first look at the sketch and determine what information you were given. This will help you to know how to go about determining the equation.